Round number one, heat number one, three-man non-elimination. Of course, the prize, skipping that dreaded round number two and vaulting into round number three. Kaipagura, along with 89 world champ Martin Potter for the call.
Maneuver, and both young ladies paying for it. Courtney coming out on top, but this is what's happened so far this morning. In heat number one, Joan Duru, obviously that double grab, just holding himself in the face of the wave. Kolohe Andino, a couple of rolls of the dice. This one here maybe just not quite deep enough, so small scores at the moment for all three surfers. Kolohe Andino biting off a little bit more than he could chew here, slowing down a little bit too much, and you can see him getting sucked up and over, but this so far is the wave of the morning, a 5.334 Italo Ferreira. Good to see him back after an injury, quite a long period that he has taken off, and it's good to see him back at 100%.
Italo Ferreira with the early lead in this heat. Italo Potts, of course, as you said, he's been out the last three events with an injury. He did open up stop number one at Snapper Rocks with a quarterfinal finish. Here's Italo Ferreira.
Yeah, we talk about the wave clamping just that little bit. You can see he pulls in and then it shuts down at the end, but Italo Ferreira managing to take that high line and drive through that section. So just a testament to how tough and how strong this kid is, and then to finish off nicely. So that injury doesn't look like it's hindering him at all. I think he's back at 100%, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to make sure that you really do fix the injury. You really do make sure you're 100% before you come back, because especially at a place like this,
you know, we're pushing that change and, you know, being strong for all the women out there and just going for it. And, you know, the conditions were definitely tricky, but we were stoked to get into a couple. And, yeah, we'll see where everything goes. It's always exciting.
Well, let's talk world title races. 2 wins out of 5 events put you in a strong position.
Yeah, 2 wins. That's a great way to turn things around. And, you know, I've just been working with Luke, and I have a really great support team around me. And
yeah, amazing. You know, and truly tested as well in all kinds of conditions in the smaller waves. But have a look at this. Talk about waves.
Back to here, under the curl, in the tube, and out. Italo Ferreira winds down, comes off the top for a nice carve, so he's going to combo this thing up. Barrel ride and some beautiful carves on the open face. Maybe more on the inside. This wave really doubles up. Some air under the board, and he punches out the back. So well-surfed wave for Italo Ferreira. We had a couple of waves ridden during that final presentation pass. I'm sure we're going to get back to them.
Pedal to the metal. I love waves like that. It was one of those straighter waves. You could see just not any opportunity to do any kind of turn. Expect just get that high line. Now he grabs a rail, pulls in, driving through that section. I love tubes like that. You know, not slowing down, not having to manufacture it. Just a straight shot from start to finish, 100 miles an hour. I love it. Kolohe Andino, 5.90. And I think he stayed in that mid-range because it wasn't quite as deep as maybe he wanted to. But there was no opportunity to slow down there, Kaipo. He had to go pedal to the metal. And then Italo Ferreira, a 5.33 on his first wave. Nice fading bottom turn, and then drives through that section. So good positioning, good timing. And then this is what I like about Italo. He doesn't give up on a wave. He just keeps rattling off turns. That ankle looks fine. He looks solid on his feet, showing stuff that we've seen from him in the past, just tail tapping drop. So milking that one all the way through to the inside. That's going to be another good score for Italo Ferreira. 13 minutes remaining. He's going to get that lead back and apply a bit more pressure on his opponents. The thing I like about Italo surfing is the rail turn. I mean, he's known for his air game, but he's kind of, for me, the modern day Tom Carroll. Real stocky, real strong, just real solid on his feet, and has a lot of game, that's for sure.
Beautiful shot of the restaurant here on Tavarua Island Resort, an idyllic setting. And here's to live action out at Cloudbreak with Italo Ferreira pulling in, and that wave just thunders down the line. No exit for our heat leader. Wave behind, and here is Kolohe Andino grabbing the rail, stalling, pulls under the lip, traveling. Another section for Andino, travels through that one. Now, what's he got for us on the open face? Has to kind of get through a little bit of a warble section here, weaving down the line. Looks for more barrel time, and this wave is really doubling up. Has to pin drop as the water runs out on the inside section, but a great barrel section on the outside for Andino.
Yeah, I like it, you know, from Kolohe. He knows that that's the tube ride is what it's going to take to beat Italo Ferreira. 6.10 is the highest score at the moment. And that last wave from Kolohe Andino, 5.10. Now, let's have a look. You can see how he slows himself down, using part of his body to try and get as deep as possible. Can still see him. And I think that's why that stayed at a 5.10 was the fact that he didn't quite disappear. He didn't spend too much time behind the curtain, so the judges identifying that. And a 5.10, not enough to get himself in the lead, but a step in the right direction for Kolohe Andino, looking for a 5.54. Joan Duru is the worry, though, at the moment. You can see Kolohe there just slowing himself down. I think the judges prefer it when you go flying through a tube ride. It looks way more dynamic, a little bit more exciting. And I think Joan Duru needs to get the ball rolling here. The 9.36, he's fallen way behind.
The whole wave is connecting right now, so it's a beautiful go. Here we go right now. Look at this thing. Joan's found himself a beauty. Let's see if he can, oh, he's gonna stuff it inside. Is he coming out, ladies and gents? Blown through the tube and finds the lip in the head. I can't believe it. Unfortunate. Let's get back to the booth. Look at this bomb, boys.
Thank you, Strider. And the view from the channel from Mr. Wozlowski, as we see Italo Ferreira starting to stall, now has to put the gas pedal, pulling through this long section, travels, the wave spits, breathes, and no exit. So a couple of nice tubes right behind him. Kolohe Andino speeding down the line, grabbing the rail, tucking under. There's the section he was looking for, and just a beating for Andino on that end section.
All three beatings, all three guys paying the price. And those are the kind of waves that will break your board, that will break your body. I think that's what a lot of people, you know, you got the average surfer and you've got the pros, you've got the best surfers in the world. These guys know how to wipe out. They know how to fall. Italo Ferreira, look at this thing. It is just flying down the line. It is open wide and over the foam ball. That thing just ate him up and spat him out. Once that lip hits the water, there's all this white water shooting up the face of the wave. Joan Duru, I thought he was coming out of this. Maybe just slowed down a little bit too much. You know, once that wave unloads, you need to have that down the line speed. You need to have a bit of momentum. If not, it is just going to eat you up. And right here you can see just up and over the foam ball, it just literally pulls that board from underneath your feet. You can see Matty Wilco, hands on the head, and then Kolohe Andino. This was just an absolute Hail Mary. There was no exit on this one, but Kolohe, I'll give him credit. I'll give him A for effort. I'll give him A for guts. And wow, that was just a very powerful, very scary wave through that inside. It gets shallower and shallower as it goes down the line, and it unloads, and you absolutely pay for that. That means, let me tell you, that'll really test your skills. It'll test your breath holding. It'll test your mettle on whether or not you want another one like that. That's for sure.
Wow.
On this trip, so you've got to reacquaint yourself with the wave.
Heat leader Ferreira using his priority, high line, down the line, long stretching wall. Fins come a little bit disengaged and the wave just closes out, so that's not going to help his cause, but he is going to remain in the lead, and the clock's just ticking down. So Italo looking very, very likely to skip that round number 2 and come back from an injury in a brilliant fashion, winning his opening heat, the opening day of the Outerknown Fiji Pro. So that's the way to come back from an injury.